Right now, in this exact moment, you are living in the best time in human existence because it has never been easier to get rich, but most people stay broke. Why? Because they're playing by rules that expired over a decade ago. And to be real, most people are playing by rules that haven't worked since like the 1900s. But if you're ready to flip the script and play the new game, the game that made me over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K, I'm gonna show you how to play the game and win the game so you can stop just watching from the sidelines. I don't want you to be a victim of the 40-40-40 scam. You know, work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life to retire for 40% of your income. I've never seen anybody win at that. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll probably just be another victim of the scam. And scam, SCAM, stands for still confused about money. So if you don't have those 5 minutes, please feel free to click off of this video and stay confused. But if we just think logically for a second about the 40-40-40 scam, you'll see that it makes absolutely no sense because majority of people can't live the life that they want to live right now with 100% of their income. But they think that for some reason, when they're old and have no energy and can't even really get jiggy with their two-step, that they're gonna be able to live the life that they want to live off of 40% of their income, literally 60% less. It makes no sense. So that formula, it's dead. It doesn't work anymore. It worked in yesteryear, not in this year. So here's the reality. Information is free and distribution is free. You can build a brand, sell a product, to build an audience, all from your phone basically with no credentials. There's no gatekeepers. But here's the kicker. Most people are still waiting for permission. They're waiting for the degree, the job title, the certification, the right moment when people that win just move. They just start and figure it out along the way. And here's why the game's rigged in your favor. And like I said, it's never been easier to get rich and successful, all that jazz, right? But only if you understand leverage. And there's 4 types of leverage that have been running the game since the beginning, right? And they're labor, capital, code, and media, right? But in prior ages in our history, everybody did not have access to any form. But now with the internet, we all have access to media and code. Like nowadays, you don't even need to know how to code just because you can just use certain softwares or you can use AI and whatnot, right? And then here, why media is at the top is because everybody has access to their media. And all that you have to do is attach a product. I highly recommend a digital product to your actual media in order to be successful. And even on the highest level of business, who has the most equity in the marketplace right now? It's people that are leveraging their media. So even if we look at the new billionaires, who are they? Rihanna, right? She leverages her media with Fenty. Kylie Jenner, she leverages her media with whatever the little makeup stuff that she does. Kim Kardashian, she leverages her media with Skims. The richest guy on the planet, Elon Musk, leverages his media to build Tesla. Like, these billionaires even going and buying media companies because they know the power of it. There's a reason why Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X. There's a reason why Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post. And right now, you instantly have access to the 2 highest forms of leverage right now. But most people, they're ignoring them and they're thinking that they need to have some type of credential or some type of certification or some type of job or some type of permission. You don't need permission and you don't need credentials. You need the courage and the belief in yourself to use the tools that are sitting right in front of you right now. And here's the thing that nobody really wants to talk about too. The people that win, they're obsessed. And obsession is a superpower. A lot of people look at obsession like it's a negative thing when it's literally a superpower. I didn't realize this until I started studying Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. And when I was studying Jeff Bezos, I realized that he studied a guy by the name of Sam Walton. And if you're not familiar with who Sam Walton is, Sam Walton, he created Walmart. And during Sam Walton's run, he was the richest guy on the planet, like by far. When he died, that's when Bill Gates started to become like the richest guy on the planet back then, right? And Sam Walton was so rich that when he died, his wife and his children, then became the second, third, fourth, and fifth richest people on the planet. Like, that's how cracking and that's how big Sam Walton built Walmart during that time. But if you think about Amazon, what is Amazon? Amazon is simply just Walmart online. So Jeff Bezos was studying Sam Walton, and he basically just took his whole concept and he put it online on the internet. But when I was studying Jeff Bezos, I read all of the letters to shareholders, right? Every single year he would write a letter to all the shareholders of Amazon. And I read Sam Walton's autobiography, Made in America, because when he was on his deathbed, he wrote his biography. He told his whole story, talked about what he did, strategies, and all this type of stuff, right? But I started to see this word, obsessed or obsession, come up quite frequently when I was studying these two men, right? When I'm reading the letters to shareholders that Jeff Bezos would write, he would say obsession, customer obsession, customer obsession, customer obsession. If you watch any Jeff Bezos interview, especially those ones from back in the day when everybody thought he was crazy because Amazon was just losing money over and over and over again, it was like, oh, this dude's crazy. Is Amazon ever going to be profitable? He used to like get really excited, and he would look at the interviewer and he would be like, oh, it's just, you gotta be obsessed about the customer. We're just so obsessed about delivering a quality product to our customer. It's just customer obsession. Then when I was reading Made in America by Sam Walton, started to see the same thing, customer obsession, customer obsession. Like, Sam Walton was so obsessed about delivering a good product to the customers of Walmart that he would go and he would spy on other department stores. He would go with the measuring tape and he would measure how far apart their aisles were to see if he could bring that stuff back to Walmart for a good customer experience. He would hop in the airplanes and like go and look down on the land to see if it's a good route for people to access the store and stuff. They were obsessed. And for you to be successful, you need to be obsessed about coming up with a solution for an individual person. You need to be obsessed about coming up with a solution for an avatar. You don't need to help everybody. You need to help a specific individual within the marketplace. And you'll be shocked to find out how many more people fit that target demographic when you actually spend some time, energy, and effort on building out your actual avatar, so you know who it is that you're speaking to, so you know who it is that you're helping. But most people, they're not willing to get to a level of obsession about anything because they're focused on balance, right? And here's the thing about balance. A scale at balance is at 0, right? In entrepreneurship, you never want to be in balance. Now, you're going to have seasons to where sometimes you're doing more work, sometimes you're enjoying more life, but you never want to have balance because scale at balance is at 0. There's no movement there. But the successful people, they're not balanced. They're obsessed. They're waking up every single day, working on their craft, iterating fast, getting feedback, and pushing through discomfort. Obsession isn't unhealthy. Mediocrity is. And they're able to stay obsessed about one thing because a lot of this stuff, it comes down to focus, and focus stands for following one course until successful. So most people are working on too many things to the point that they can't stay focused on anything. And you need to understand this. You only have so many like points of energy per day, per week, per month, per year, right? And most people are spreading their energy so thin that they can't ever really get anything accomplished because their energy, their focus, is all over the place. But those people that win, they're obsessed about that one thing. And look, since they're able to put all of this power that everybody else has spread out everywhere else here, they're able to put all of that into one thing and actually focus. And that's why they get so much further, so much farther, so much faster than everybody else. And I'm telling you, to get to a high 6-figure level, to get to a 7-figure level, you don't need to grind your face off like all those hustle people. Oh, you just gotta hustle, just gotta grind, man. Grind your face off, all gas, no brakes. And I'll sleep when I die. Sleep is because of that. If you're actually focused on something, you don't have to do that much work. It only takes like maybe 2 to 4 hours of deep work per day. I only work 2 to 4 hours per day, usually between 2 to 3 hours, if that. But I'm able to get more work done in one day than most people are able to get done in a week. In actuality, most times even in a month, because they're not focused on anything. And even when they are claiming to work, they have like 20 tabs open. When they watch YouTube videos, they're scrolling through the comments while they're watching the video. They're not even focused. They're looking over at the suggested bar to see what they're gonna watch next. Like, so many people's minds and their brains are just scattered. And the way that the brain works, once you lose your focus on a certain task that you're working on, it takes your brain about 15 to 20 minutes to get back in a state of focus. So think about how many times people, even yourself, are doing anything, and as soon as they get distracted by that phone notification, by that text message, by the next video, by the email pop-up, it's gonna take their brain another 15 to 20 minutes to get back in a state of focus. So if you're really just focused on deep work for a handful of hours per day, you will have so much exponential growth and go like way past everybody. There's a great book on that actually called Deep Work. Deep Work by, what's the author's name? I believe his name is Cal Newport, right? Good book, changed my life. And it actually had me being way more productive with less work. Like I said, I only work for a couple to a few hours a day. But you need to be focused, and you need to be focused on building high income skills that print money. And there's not that many skills that you need to lock in on. So look, something that separates broke people from people that hit like a 7-figure mark is something as simple as learning fast. And the separator is that majority of people that think that they're learning actually aren't learning anything because they're not applying anything. So they'll just sit there, they'll learn something, or they'll watch a video, or they'll read a book, and then instead of applying the stuff that they watched in the video or in the book that they read, they say, oh man, that was great. I learned so much. Let me watch another video. Oh, that was so great. I learned so much. Let me read another book. No, anything in life that you have truly learned, you learned it through doing. You didn't learn it by reading and watching videos about it. Think about this. When you were a baby, you didn't just sit around and look at humans walk and then just stay sitting down and looking at humans walk and then just learned how to walk. How did you really learn how to walk? You observed, you saw how people were walking, and then you got up and you attempted to walk, and then you fell on your ass a bunch of times. But after a while, you stopped falling on your butt because you learned to walk. The same thing with talking. You didn't just observe people talking, you observed people talking, and then you started to formulate sounds and movements with your mouth to start talking. It's the same as that thing. And I hate when people watch content, and I hate when people read books and they don't do anything with the information and they think that they're learning. You're not learning anything. That learning that you think that you're doing is just procrastination in disguise. And it's a lack of belief in yourself, because anything that you have 100% conviction that something is going to work for you and that you are going to get a desired result, you don't procrastinate on it at all. Like if I know that I want to watch one of my favorite shows, Severance, with some of that Trader Joe's lemonade and some of those ghost pepper chips from Trader Joe's with some of that spinach and artichoke dip from Trader Joe's, I'm not procrastinating to sit on the couch and watch Severance and eat my snacks. I'm doing it right now. Why? Because I know that I'm going to get my desired result of being entertained with some good snacks, right? But people, they don't have that same belief in themselves. That's why they keep on procrastinating on stuff, saying and claiming that they're learning stuff. No, you're not. You're putting it off. Because if you had 100% belief and conviction in yourself, just like you have 100% belief and conviction that when you hit that remote on that TV's gonna come on, because if you didn't believe that, then you wouldn't even pick up the remote to turn the TV on, right? But if you had that same belief in yourself, if you believe that you are going to make $100,000 in a month with this idea, you are going to make $1 million with this digital product, you wouldn't put it off. You would start doing it today. You would have been done, did it. So you got to do some deep work on yourself and really sit with yourself and be like, why don't I believe in myself like I claim that I do? Because if I did believe in myself, then I would be doing those things. And I've been there before. I don't want you to think that I'm personally attacking you. I know this because I used to do this as well. And something that switched everything for me was I came up with this saying that the be comes before the get. So you have to become the person first before you can get what it is that you desire. So start to ask yourself, what would the you that you want to be do? And then do that now. Don't wait. Do it now. And that's how you become it. That's how you become somebody worthy of what it is that you aspire. It's done through action. But some of these skills that separate the people that hit like 7-figure marks to broke people, like I said, learning fast. And in learning fast, You have to consume with a producer's mindset. Most of the people that can't get ahead, they're consuming stuff with a consumer mindset. So you need to consume stuff, whether it be literature, whether that be videos, whether that be podcasts. You need to have a consumption process where you're thinking with a producer mindset. And when you're thinking like that, then you're constantly going to be testing the new stuff that you consume. And the faster that you test, the faster you can iterate, the faster that you can adjust, the faster that you can pivot. It's speed over perfection. So take massive imperfect action. Now, another skill is selling, because flat out, if you can't sell, you can't scale. Because to make money as an entrepreneur, you have to sell something. That's it. And if you look at any successful people, they sell something. And remember, if you can't sell, you can't scale. Another skill is content creation. Remember, I said the highest form of leverage right now is media. Your ability to build attention on demand is a money printer. And I highly suggest that you start getting the organic content side down, especially here on YouTube. YouTube is so powerful. Just last month alone, I don't even have the biggest YouTube channel yet, I got about $30,000 worth of impressions on YouTube. When I used to run paid advertising, I would have had to pay about $30,000 for the same amount of traffic that I got from my YouTube channel. That's insane. And YouTube paid it for me. So I'm like, this is still mind-boggling to me. And I wish that I was doing this years ago. And I'm telling you, the best time to start taking your YouTube seriously was years ago. The second best time is right now, because it is so mind-boggling to me that I can get paid to grow my personal brand and to grow my business, instead of me paying for impressions, instead of me paying for advertising, instead of me paying for eyeballs. I can just make a nice quality video giving somebody true value, and YouTube will pay me for that while building my business at the same time. It's insane. And the reason why I say this is because when I was running paid advertising, I used to get charged about $25 to $30 per 1,000 impressions, right? And last month alone, I got about 1 million impressions from my YouTube channel. So if you do the math, that would have been about $25,000 to $30,000 worth of impressions I would have had to pay in advertising that I got for free on YouTube. And I won't even say got for free off of YouTube. I got paid for it from YouTube. And I'm telling you, it's bonkers. And I say this because so many people, for some reason, they think that they can just run some ads to make some money. I'm like, just think about all the ads that you see each day. Do you want to see those things? I'm like, no. And even at the root of that, creating ads is still content creation. So if you don't know how to create content, then you're not going to know how to create effective ads either. It's just backwards. And another skill that is a big separator for people is problem solving. And this is something that really, really changed everything for me, because I used to be hard on myself. I used to be like, why me? I used to be a woe is me. Why do all these problems keep happening for me? And I used to pray to God every single day just for an opportunity. Never in my life have I prayed to God for money. And when I say this, a Jay-Z lyric comes to my head. He said, I can't say I've never knelt before God and asked for better cards at time to no avail, but I never sat back feeling sorry for myself. If you don't give me heaven, I'll raise hell till it's heaven, right? But I've never prayed to God for money, but I used to pray daily for opportunity. And I would be having all these problems in my life. I would be having all these problems in my business. I would be having all these financial problems and struggles. And I would be like, man, God, I just need an opportunity. And then one day, the light bulb hit me. And I was like, I'm getting exactly what it is that I'm praying for, because I'm getting blessed with all these problems. I'm getting blessed with all these struggles. And if I simply just come up with a solution to the problems that I'm dealt with, then I can sell that solution to other people that are suffering through the same problems that I figured out a solution for. Because in entrepreneurship, all that it is identifying a problem and coming up with a solution and then selling that solution to people that have the problem. So if you start looking at the world with a producer mindset instead of a consumer mindset, you'll start to see problems that other people have, or you'll start to identify the problems that you yourself have. And then you're like, oh, here's an opportunity right here. If I just figure out a way to solve this problem, then I have a business. And that's why problem solving skills are a big separator amongst people, because business is solving pain for profit. Period. And if you master those of learning fast, selling, product creation, and problem solving, You will be successful. It's not a maybe. It's not a someday. It's going to be inevitable. So are you going to work on those skills, or are you going to sit on the couch and watch Netflix? And here's the other thing too. When I say focus, I spent a 2-year window of my life where I didn't watch football at all. Now, I'm a big sports guy, right? And during this time period when I didn't watch football, I remember sitting on the couch with my friends one Sunday. We just watching football all day. All of us sitting on the couch broke. You know, some guys sitting there drinking, some guys sitting there smoking. Everybody had devices, right? And I was like, man, we're sitting here on the couch watching a bunch of people that have achieved their dreams while we just sit here on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis and complain about our lives being broke. So right there, I stopped watching football. And around this time period, it's when Colin Kaepernick, a lot of people were boycotting the NFL to kneel with Kaepernick. And my boys and my friends, they were like, man, you protesting the NFL? You kneeling with Kaepernick? And I was like, no, I ain't kneeling with Kaepernick. I'm not protesting the NFL. I'm protesting being broke. I got all day on a Sunday, I'm working on myself. I'm working on acquiring these skills. I'm working on acquiring these high income skills. I could care less about watching some people that already achieved their dreams when I'm sitting here broke and haven't achieved anything. And some of those guys are still just sitting on the couch complaining all the time. And I've gotten wind from behind my back that some of those guys, and these aren't my friends, but some of those guys that were on that couch with me that day, they talk about me behind my back. But a great philosopher by the name of Kendrick Lamar Duckworth once said, we got the same 24, what you mad for? So I'm like, we got the same exact time. I just chose to do some different stuff with my time. But look, what you need to understand, just like what some of them guys don't understand, is that nobody cares. Yeah, your parents didn't teach you this stuff. Yeah, the school system failed you. Yeah, you made a whole bunch of mistakes. So what? Nobody's coming to save you. You either step up or stay stuck. People spend so much time complaining about their problems instead of solving them, when solving them is going to make them so much money. You don't need a therapist. You need a to-do list and a deadline. Execution over excuses. And here's the thing about excuses. You can get results or you can have excuses, but you can't have them both at the same time. You got to pick one. And I'm telling you, if you can lock in and focus and commit for, I'll say 3 years. And when I say 3 years to people, because I want to be realistic for most people, I think the average person can get to like a 7-figure level within 3 years. Like I truly believe that. But so many people, they get distracted along the way. And realistically, you can get it done way quicker than that, because starting from nothing, I got it done in about 18 months. I hit a 7-figure level. But the 40 scams telling people to wait 40 years, 50 years and whatnot. I'm not even telling you to wait no 40 years, no 30 years, no 10 years, no 5. I'm talking about 3. Or depending on how serious you take it, I'm talking about a year and a half to 3 years here. And think about how quick the last 3 years have gone by. The time's gonna pass anyways. That's what I tell people. The time is gonna pass anyway. So why don't you go ahead and work on this stuff now? Then when the 3 years come up, you'll be like, dang, that happened fast. Versus most people, they're just waiting, and then the 3 years are gonna pass anyways, and they're in the same position, if not worse. So here's the formula. Pick one skill or model, work on it every single day, iterate fast, and stay in the game longer than the next person. Look, most people, they quit like after 90 days, but if you're focused and committing to putting in 1,000 days, you will be in the top 1%. It's not about being special. It's about being focused long enough to see results like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description to join this Credit at the Top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description and tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But look, getting rich, it's not about luck. It's about leverage, focus, and massive imperfect action. This era favors the bold, the builders, those that are done waiting and ready to do. So ask yourself, are you willing to go all in for 3 years? Are you willing to give up comfort for freedom? Are you willing to get so good they can't ignore you? Because if you are, you'll never be broke again. So go ahead and click the link down in the description and tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here about a 6-part framework to hit $1 million within the next 36 months. It's credited at the top.